Good afternoon on what is another grey overcast day, but it's actually quite mild today, so it's quite pleasant out here in the reading nook. I of course have another hot cup of tea, a cat who is not ours on my lap, and it is Tuesday the 14th of December and I've got some parcels to unbox. So the next thing I'm going to go into is a big box I had from the States this week, including socks and patch. And next on the list is, that's going down, is I have a sheaf of things from Free RPG Day to go through. So let's have a look, find the things I have wanted to look at, and the next thing is this. Okay, now I've already looked at most of the things that were available on Free RPG Day, which took place on Saturday the 16th of October, but some of them weren't available when I was able to get the releases, and which was because essentially those titles didn't make it in time for the international backers to receive their boxes. And that includes the titles from Goodman Games. So there were two this year, one of which was this for Dungeon Crawl Classics, and which I played and was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to reviewing. And the other one was this, which is Dark Tower, the Sunken Temple of Set, a Dark Tower adventure by Chris Doyle. It's for a level 7 adventure module, and it's for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, which is really interesting because it's the first new supplemental information for Dark Tower in a long time. Now, Dark Tower, I think came out 1979 and 1980, and it's written by Janelle Jacquet for Judges Guild, and it's a fantastic dungeon, really good early dungeon, with the factions of Mithras and Set fighting it out in a dark tower, and then the dungeons below. Lots and lots of essentially ancient world theme, obviously Egyptian themes with Set, but it's such a good dungeon. It's been released a couple of times before, including by Goodman Games, so I've got an original copy somewhere, or basically a printing from Judges Guild, and I've got a Goodman Games version somewhere as well, and I reviewed that one. But Goodman Games is doing another version, this one updated for 5th edition, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I will be reviewing that with pleasure. So let's have a look, and also have a look at this. So on the back, what you've got is an illustration of the original cover for Dark Tower. Now, Dark Tower would actually lead to a couple of parodies. Obviously, one from Judges Guild, which would be Dark Tower, and then most obviously Dark Tower from John Cossack's the long-running cartoon strip. So. 5th edition fantasy, the Sunken Temple of Set, a level 7 adventure. 5th edition fantasy is here. This adventure module is fully compatible with the 5th edition of the world's first role-playing game, and is ready to play in your home campaign. To the east of the village of Mitra's Fist is a flooded box canyon, the origin of a twisting river through a treacherous ravine. A torrent of water gushes into the canyon, and its base is a monolithic structure from a bygone age. The secluded temple is partially flooded and has been shunned due to deific curse. But now a host of evil resides in the once sacred edifice, which plots to thwart the efforts of good in the region. What is this unholy congregation's end game, and how many must suffer under their heel during its profane machinations? Is your band of seasoned heroes up to the challenge of exploring the Sunken Temple? What evil now lurks in those unhallowed halls? But more importantly, what fabulous treasures, both mundane and of eldritch power, could be claimed by defeating this malevolent uprising? The Sunken Temple of Set is an all-new 5th edition module set in the region of the famed Dark Tower, coming soon from Goodman Games. However, that supplement is not needed to enjoy the challenges contained inside. Also included herein are full 5th edition statistics for numerous new adversaries, several new magic items and spells. Pre-generated characters can be downloaded from the Goodman Games website to get the table fast and start playing right now. So, there we have it. Straight away we have a great cover of essentially presumably Set in all his wrath, and inside basically we have at the back there's a page of I'm bringing the 5th edition fantasy titles available from Goodman Games, and there are quite a few, and they don't get quite enough press as much as the Goodman Games Dungeon Crawl Classic, which is very popular. But at the bottom, though, the one titles that do is the Original Adventures series, or Original Adventures Reincarnated series, of which there are 6. So you've got, Keeping the Borderlands and In Search of the Unknown, Isle of Dread, and so on. Some classic ones updated for 5th edition, and basically their historical provenance explored. So this fits into this line rather than this. Although it kind of crosses over into this line, because essentially what you've got there is this is an original adventure, essentially the new Dark Tower original adventure reincarnated of sorts, but obviously not actual Dungeons and Dragons, but rather a scenario for it from a third-party publisher. Anyway, what have we got inside? We get into classic artwork, and what it says here: "Don't call it a comeback. It's been here for years." Goodman Games is pleased to announce that it has acquired Dark Tower, the only non-TSR module to ever make Dungeon Magazine's cut as one of the greatest D&D modules of all time. So back in, I think, 2004, Dungeon Magazine issue 116 did a poll essentially of what are the greatest Dungeons and Dragons cartoons, adventures of all time. There were 30 of them, some great choices on there. Some of them I don't quite agree with, but they're still interesting for all that. And the only non-TSR title was Dark Tower. So yeah, this will be coming to you near you soon. Okay, and this is independent of it, but supporting of it as well. So then we get into basically nice piece of artwork, and as always you can download the PDF of this scenario if you want to, and then inside we have a background and adventure hooks, and a quick list of new weapons like the Kopesh, the Makana, or the Mace Axe down there for the period or the setting feel when you're being hit by NPCs and monsters. What are they armed with? Well, it's a Kopesh or a Makana. Well, what's that? And then we get on to the Canyon Lake, and the crossed over by a rope bridge to the Sacred Lake, and the entrance to the temple itself. So nice clear cartography there. Nice bit of decent artwork, and occupied by Sokas, the sacred giant crocodile. And then, yeah, basically there's the crocodile coming out to snap at the poor unfortunate adventurer. Then we get to the Sunken Temple of Set itself, and this is quite detailed. So yeah, really nice, quite nice detailed map, sense of essentially perspective to it, even when it's sort of like being drawn overhead. And that's it. Basically, it consists of really just 11 locations. That's all you're going to need, because what have we got inside? Sunken crypts leading down from the temple, where they might face giant crocodile zombies. and would face lesser sons of Set, possibly call upon divine assistance. And at the back, we've got an audience chamber with Set himself, and new spells such as snake charm and sticks to snakes, and some interesting new magical items there before we get to the conclusion. So this really is, it's an interesting scenario. You're really going to get about a session or so's worth out of play out of that. I don't know whether there are any notes on integrating this into Dark Tower itself. It says it can be used as a side adventure for the Dark Tower campaign, and they are saying it's not just a scenario, they're talking it as a campaign, so that's going to be really interesting to see how they expand upon it. If there's one actual campaign or fantasy scenario I'm looking forward to, it's that one. I've always been fond of that scenario and I'd love to play it, but there you go. So yeah, that is the Sunken Temple of Set from Goodman Games, a Dark Tower side quest released by Goodman Games for Free RPG Day 2021. Now obviously it's been a few, well actually months now since Free RPG Day, so I hope you're able to get to your local shop and find something interesting to take away and bring to your table, or even just read. Hopefully you'll be able to find a copy of this to download and play. It's been long enough. Usually there's a bit of a gap between the two, but I am really glad to finally get hold of a copy of this. So I want to thank Keith for that. Been really helpful. In the meantime, there will be a review of this coming up soon, because I'm really looking forward to actually looking at it in detail. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, please do click the like button down below, and if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me basically with a box or a parcel pull out a game or a book that I'll unbox and talk about for the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, and in this case a cat who is not ours, then please do hit that subscribe button. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.